It was Halloween night, and things had finally calmed down. The trick-or-treaters were gone, and the streets outside my house were empty. I was about to turn off the porch light when there was a knock on my door. It was a little weird considering it was so late, but I figured maybe some teenager was trying to squeeze in one last house. I peeked through the window and there was a girl standing on my porch. She looked to be around 17 or 18, way too old to be trick-or-treating, but she wasn't wearing a costume. What really threw me off was her expression. She looked terrified. I hesitated but opened the door slightly, just enough to see what she wanted. I asked her if I could help her with something. She didn't answer right away. Instead, she just kept looking around nervously, like someone was chasing her. Finally, she blurted out, "I left my candy in your kitchen." I froze. My kitchen? I didn't recognize this girl at all, and I definitely didn't invite anyone inside my house. But the way she said it, it was like she believed it. I told her I thought she had the wrong house, and started to close the door. "No," she insisted. "I left my candy in your kitchen. I need to get it." Her voice was shaky, and her eyes were wide. Something about the way she said it gave me the creeps. I told her again she had the wrong house, and that she needed to leave. But she didn't move. She just kept repeating the same thing over and over. "I left my candy in your kitchen." At that point, I was done. I closed the door and locked it, hoping she'd get the hint and leave. But the second I turned around, there was another knock, this time at the back door. I nearly jumped out of my skin. I walked to the back door slowly and peeked through the glass. It was her again, the same girl. She was standing at my back door, staring straight at me through the glass, still repeating the same eerie phrase. "I left my candy in your kitchen." Now I was really freaked out. I backed away from the door, trying to figure out what to do. She wasn't banging or trying to break in, but she just kept staring at me, repeating the same sentence in that creepy, emotionless tone. I grabbed my phone and called the police, explaining that there was a strange girl at my house who wouldn't leave. They said they'd send someone out, but by the time I hung up, I realized she had stopped talking. I rushed back to the door, but she was gone. I quickly checked the front door and the windows, but there was no sign of her. It was like she had just disappeared. The police showed up a few minutes later, but they didn't find anything either. I told them what happened, and they searched the area, but no one matched her description. The whole thing left me rattled. I kept wondering who she was and where she went. Was she going to come back? I checked my locks twice before going to bed that night, but I barely slept. Her voice still echoes in my mind sometimes. "I left my candy in your kitchen."